Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationship Advice and it's by user ThrowArray with some numbers. I, 24 female, just broke off my engagement with my fiance, 26 male, because he told me he wasn't ready when proposing. We're going to therapy, but I feel like I gave up already. Help? Hi, so I, 24 female, and my fiance, 26 male, have been together for 6 years, living together for 2 years, and engaged for 1 year and 2 months. We've been a really cool couple, same sense of humor, we have common interests, we enjoy the same things. We're basically one person at this point. I thought we had great communication. Turns out, I was wrong. The one thing is, I feel like his mother, he takes no initiative. He doesn't initiate physical contact, not even mentioning sex here, but it's a bigger problem. No initiative makes me feel really unattractive. He won't ask me out for dates, won't hug me or cuddle with me until I ask. So I do it all. I arrange dates. I try to get closer, to communicate more. I decide what we do and where we go out, etc. Basically, he comes home from work 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. Takes out his laptop and just does whatever, probably just plays games. Then we fold laundry while watching a TV show and go to sleep. Pretty much just living like flatmates or like a very old married couple. I tried to talk to him about it, but he'd always say he'll try to do better, and he would for 2 to 3 months. Then things would go back to how it was. But here's what broke me. On Monday, I started the conversation again, tried to get him to act and get us on couples counseling. Well, we started talking about how he never mentioned getting married since the proposal. I've started looking for wedding venues. I drove us to one and suggested we book it. He said he'd rather see more before making a decision. I asked him to look for something and we can go check it out. He admitted that he didn't even Google that since September. And he basically told me he proposed because he felt like I expected or wanted it while he wasn't 100% ready. I took the ring off, saying it feels like a lie because it meant something different to him than to me, and he took it, said, "I promise you I'll give it to you when I'm ready." So he wasn't ready 14 months ago. During those months, nothing changed and he still isn't ready to be engaged. I've loved this man for 6 years, but now it turns out he proposed because he had to. He still had doubts and let me look for wedding stuff, create Pinterest boards, make guest lists while knowing it's all built on a lie. It feels like I proposed to myself while he just stood by and watched. So we have couples therapy today, just like he booked it on Monday, but now I have no idea what to do. I agreed because I wanted us to work out the initiative thing, but that was before I found out he didn't really want to be engaged. I'm going there today and I feel like I'm lying to him because I don't think I can continue this relationship after what he did. He's trying hard to take initiative again and be closer to me, but it feels like it's too late. How can I handle this? I'm giving him hope with this therapy while considering to break things off because of the engagement thing. Can I forgive this and move on? Well, OP, the relationship may already be over and you guys are giving each other hope without really wanting to be in it. I mean, you've said it yourself. Every time you talk to him about it, he tries to do better for 2 to 3 months and then reverts back to what it was, hence giving you hope. And you going to therapy with him is making you feel like you're giving him hope even though you're apparently kind of mentally checked out at this point because of what he did, which was a shut up proposal. Maybe you both just need to be honest with yourselves and each other and cut your losses and move on. 6 years is a long time, but you're both still really young and you just may not be the person for each other. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's check out the community comments. Alphabet93 says, I would feel very betrayed by his lies. I truly don't know if I'd be able to move forward or want to. You should go into the therapy session on Monday to discuss these revelations and maybe more will be admitted by him that'll help make your decision moving forward clearer. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Sad face. Shish Coco says, don't waste your youth on a man that is settling for you. You are a placeholder for him. I guarantee that if you stay, he will eventually find someone else, leave you, and marry her within a year. You are not the one he sees a future with, but he won't break up because he doesn't want to be alone. He's doing the bare minimum to keep you until he finds who he really wants. You deserve to be the be-all and end-all in someone's life. Don't let this man use you and waste your time. And Oldie and Nerdy says, I honestly don't judge either one because I was engaged at age 25 and called it off and even thought it was a hard thing to do, and it affected both families and was a sad thing. I now look back and see how unhappy I'd be if I had stayed in that relationship. We were completely wrong for each other, and I just did everything he liked to make him happy, but that was exhausting. I later met someone that was perfect for me. It's like he was tailored to me. I sometimes tell him, I feel like my whole life was a training and preparation to meet you, so I'd recognize and value you immediately. And sometimes I think about 25-year-old me, and I don't think I would have stayed in the relationship I am now. Because I had romanticized perspective of relationships, I focused on the wrong things, and the relationship is much more complex. You must have moral values and priorities aligned, fully understand and accept each other, even the weirdness. Forget about how your relationship looks from the outside and just focus on what works for you both. By your description, you both just have different styles in a relationship, and that wouldn't work. Just find someone that matches your weirdness. From different angles, the community agrees that this relationship is mostly over and that OP should cut her losses and move on. So let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. I figured I'd post an update to this. I read many comments and they really helped me. Thank you for sharing your experiences that opened my eyes. So yeah. He wasn't ready when proposing, he won't admit it, but I'm pretty sure it was a shut-up ring, which is sad because I never really cared about marriage in the first place. Now, we went to therapy. I said the same things as I've written in the previous post. He struggled to answer any questions, didn't really say anything that he hadn't before. The therapist suggested we could try living separately, but I think she could tell we're going to break up soon, lol. I took a few days to think, but finally broke up with him about a week after writing the first post, and it kinda broke me to see his reaction. At first, he was really dramatic, constantly tried to make himself the victim. Something about us being a ship that's sinking, I'm about to jump and give up, but he's still holding on tightly? He accused me of not giving him the chance now that he actually wants to do something and change. I had to remind him a few times that he's the one who broke my heart first. He lied for months and took the ring back. Then more dramatics, crying, etc. But the next day, everything was normal. He was behaving like nothing happened. No more fighting for this relationship or even being hurt. He said, "We're going to be good friends," and acted like nothing's happened. Over the next few days, I would occasionally get comments like, "If anyone asks what happened, I can't say we broke up. I have to say you broke my heart and left me." Or, "At least you stopped pretending to love me." Other than that, no crying, no arguments. He was acting as per usual. It just broke my heart again to see how he didn't even try, that he really didn't care much. Shouldn't have been surprised really, yet here we are. I asked him 3 times to move out, gave him a deadline of 2 weeks, so 3 weeks since he took the ring back. He acted hurt, said, "Wow, I didn't expect you'd want to get rid of me so soon," but didn't really start looking. You know what actually made him get a flat and leave? My parents telling him to F off because he lived here in their home this whole time without paying any bills. They took him in like a son. They told him to pack his crap and never come back. Since then, he's been acting offended that they treated him like that and he had to leave. He moved out yesterday. I helped him with moving. I'm on my own now, after 6.5 years with that one man. New year, new me, I guess. But yeah, thanks to everyone who commented and read my story. Not gonna lie, I would love some encouragement. It feels like a part of me has been ripped from me. I need to know this feeling will go away. P.S. He found the first post and read the comments. He wanted to post his own comment to show his side of things. Thankfully, he gave up. Lol. OP, it's perfectly understandable that after 6.5 years you feel like something's missing. But don't worry, in time this feeling will go away and you will be whole. I mean, you are whole right now, you just need to realize it. But in the meantime, have fun, enjoy yourself, and take care, OP. Thanks so much for sharing. Now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit True Off My Chest, and it's by user Throwaway Delay 2365. My parents installed a hidden camera in my house without me knowing. Recently, my parents visited my condo. For the past few months since I've bought it, they've visited me regularly just to talk, and so I thought it was just another visit. That is, until I saw something plugged in my living room. My fiance and I'm 25 female, he's 22 male, clean our place once a week, so I didn't see it until now. And it was a nanny cam. I unplugged it and called my parents about it, and they said they didn't know anything about it. I believed them at first, but when my fiance told me that they were the only people that had been in our place in the past week, I asked them again, and then they confessed. Their reasoning was honestly appalling, and to put it simply, they wanted to make sure I wasn't having sex. We got in a really big argument, and I've told them to not visit me for a while, but they told me they'd do it anyways and that we'd have a talk in person about me not being compliant. I'm a grown-ass effing woman. There is no valid reason for them to break my trust and put a secret camera in my house. I honestly don't feel comfortable seeing my parents for a long time. They were already pushing their boundaries, in my opinion, with a lot of the comments they say about my fiance. They've said on numerous occasions he was a floozy, which is effing gross. The only person that's convinced me to still let them see me these past few months is literally my fiance, and yet they still disrespect both him and his culture regularly. As far as I'm concerned, if he's not open to seeing them, I have no reason to see them for some time either. Well, OP, you're absolutely right. You are a grown-ass woman who lives independent of their parents. You get to do whatever you want inside your own house. They have no say and definitely no right to put a camera in there. That's gross. And this whole thing about being compliant, what the F are they talking about? I think your parents definitely need a timeout, and if and when you see them again, definitely not invited back to your place. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. GrouchyAd9284 says, I'm so sorry you're going through this. Firstly, you need to report this to the police. The mental hoops you need to go through to justify putting a secret camera in someone else's house is insane. These people are a risk to others, and the police need to be aware. Secondly, and I'm really sorry about this, you need to cut them out of your life. People like that will never change. They will never respect you or your choices. They will never bring happiness into your life. I say this as someone who had to cut toxic parents out of their own life. If you forgive them for this, they will see it as a green light to continue this and likely worse behavior. Thirdly, you need to search your entire house thoroughly. I very much doubt there is only one camera. Take all the cameras you find with you to the police. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Good luck with everything. Kip Chum says, compliant? What the F? What a gross violation of your privacy and an assault on your independence. Khaki Value says, I suspect this isn't the first time in your life they have crossed your boundaries. How you choose to handle this will set the tone for your 20s and 30s, etc., your marriage, parenthood, etc. This is egregious and is worth a no contact or a very low contact. They can't excuse this under religious or cultural grounds. If you are in a Western country like the US, Canada, UK, Australia, etc., I'd make a complaint to the police and give them the device. It might not go anywhere, but it establishes a history of privacy invasion against them. And Ducky Glow says, change the locks if they have the keys, or simply don't open the doors. Say you're out. That's absurd, and in my country, it would be a crime. The community agrees that the parents' behavior is ridiculous and OP would be right to cut them out of her life. And many are also suggesting to go to the police, which I agree with. So now let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Hi! So it's been 4 months since I made my first post. I didn't want to make an update on this, however a lot of really effed up crap has happened recently that's been stressing me out as of late. After all that I wrote about in my original post happened, I didn't feel comfortable at all seeing or talking to them again, or to maybe go no contact, especially considering all the weird crap they'd said about my fiance prior to this. However, my fiance convinced me to do otherwise, so we talked to my parents about it all. They apologized, which the both of us thought sounded really fake, so we decided to set some boundaries with them. The most notable ones was that they weren't allowed in our condo for the next year. We changed the passcode for our smart lock, etc. And that they could only meet us in public spaces. We also asked my parents to admit they put a camera in our house if we ever wanted to take legal action against them. At the time, we didn't plan to ever do that, and for the past few months since the incident, we haven't seen my parents all that much. Then, around Thanksgiving, my fiance saw my parents. I was at work at the time, but my fiance was taking his cousin, 15 male, to a fundraising event for his youth church group. My fiance isn't really all that religious, but he does identify as a Taoist. On the other hand, his cousin is Christian, like my family. I'm pretty sure he's Catholic while my parents are Protestant, so there is a disconnect there, but regardless, they're both still Christian. My fiance is close to his cousin, and even though I don't really talk to him besides when I'll watch his volleyball games, he's a nice kid. So when my fiance called me to tell me that he was going to spend the day with him, I thought that was fine. But then I got a call from my fiance telling me that he saw my parents at the event. When he said that, I just told him to ignore them. To be honest, I don't think I reacted with enough urgency. I should have told him to literally stay the F away from them. Like, don't talk with them at all, because for some reason, he decided to bring his cousin to go talk to them. I love my fiance, so please don't take this the wrong way, but when he told me he willingly brought himself over to see them, I wanted to call him stupid so bad. I don't want to get mad at him, but when he tried to explain his reasoning to me, it was all just so effing stupid. He said when he said hi to my parents, they asked him what he was doing here, and then he introduced his cousin. He said that they were actually really respectful to his cousin. It's a kid, so they should be, but I digress. And they talked for a while. His cousin told my fiance that he needed to go now, so my fiance tried to say bye. And when he did, he said my dad grabbed his arm. He said they'd let it go right away, but my fiance asked him what he was doing. They proceeded to get in an argument, and my fiance started to film them. He got it on video, literally. As soon as he started filming, they began pushing away my fiance and his cousin. Literally, an effing kid. They were pushing and hurting a kid for no effing reason. After that, my fiance brought his cousin with him back home, so his cousin's event was ruined for him. For the past few weeks now, me and my fiance have been considering on getting a restraining order against my parents, at the very least my dad. Amazingly, my fiance is still somewhat hesitant on going all the way through with it, but once he considers his cousin and the fact that he was affected by my parents too, he wants to get it. It's actually so effing crazy the crap my parents have done to try and control my and my fiance's life. Them putting a camera in our house was just the thing that really opened my eyes to everything. After this, I don't ever want to talk to them. My parents have been ignoring all of our calls, but I really wonder what reason they had to basically involve my fiance's cousin too. Just unbelievable all around, really. Well, OP, I would actually just stop calling them and go to the police with the video proof and all that stuff with the camera and just file a restraining order right away. You don't need to ask for their reasons. You should actually just block them. But in the meantime, here's wishing you and your fiance the very best. Take care, OP, and thanks for sharing. And now let's finish this video with a really quick mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user I Lost It Again. Too many people effed up at work, so now we need safety glasses. I make beds and clean toilets. Apparently, my co-workers are so dumb that they keep spraying themselves in the eyes with cleaning chemicals. So now everyone needs PPE to effing make beds, LMAO. We got a big box of stupid ass glasses and goggles to pick out from, and I asked my boss if I was allowed to customize them. She gave me the okay and also severely effed up by doing so. I took the flimsy ass plastic that comes from the disposable hospital's PPE glasses and glued them onto my light blocking ones. Then covered the frames with googly eyes and covered the nosepiece with a super soft piece of yarn that I turned into a caterpillar. It fits the requirements and I'll happily walk my ass to my drug test on Monday, LMAO. Well, OP, you are wearing the glasses as required. Nobody said you couldn't improve on the design. Thanks for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.